All right, Peter, the floor is yours. We'll let everyone else trickle in. So go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you, Brooks, and thank you, everybody, for taking the time to join today. We're going to spend just a little bit of time here talking through a few of the best practices and solutions that a lot of Buxton's most successful clients in the veterinary industry, and that's the full spectrum, ranging from general practice, specialty, emergency, and urgent, are utilizing these days in terms of helping to accelerate growth, to reduce risk along the way, and ultimately to return a greater value to their internal and external stakeholders. And so welcome thoughts and questions as we walk through today's session. So please don't be shy about putting a question into the chat, and I'll make every effort to address those as they come up. So if we go ahead and jump on into today's session, just a quick overview of the key themes and objectives we're going to be talking about today. Number one, it's that reduction of risk. You can think of it also as an increase in confidence that you're making the right call when you're making a decision on either acquiring or opening a new hospital. So all of this you should be thinking of as having application to both acquisition or affiliation, as well as de novo development. Now, once you've made a decision on whether or not to be going into an area or a specific site, you should be thinking about the long-term strategic implications as well. And in Buxton speak, we think about that in terms of building out robust delivery networks, whether that's for a single specialty like GP, or to steal the term from the human healthcare side of things, an IDN or an integrated delivery network. So we'll spend a little bit of time talking about what that looks like and how clients can set up very successful hub and spoke models in order to drive referrals and be able to build out those pipelines at scale and at a faster pace than going about things the old-fashioned way of just a pure Google search, for example. And then finally, we'll get down a little bit into the weeds as we think about how you can accelerate outreach and development associated with filling the pipeline if affiliation or recruitment, which we know is an ongoing challenge for everyone in the industry, to be able to have high quality conversations with the right types of providers, knowing that all of the other elements that contribute to success are present in any given scenario. And so with that, let's go ahead and jump on in to a quick overview of some tips and best practices. So it all starts with utilizing technology to get more done in less time. And at Buxton, that all happens through our Scout platform. It is a Google Maps-based reporting, mapping, and data storage tool. You'll see here, there's a quick image of what could be thought of as your actual hospital. That is that little blue storefront icon there on the upper map. You can visualize your actual clients. That is the little blue and little orange dots throughout the map. And you can visualize your actual drive time trade areas. That is how far most of your client base is willing to travel in order to come in and be seen at your hospital. And understanding that has widespread implications throughout your organization, which is one of the key themes that Scout is designed to deliver on, and that is greater organizational efficiency. So if you're in development, understanding how far any given hospital is pulling from helps you to avoid unintentional cannibalization or stepping on the toes of an existing practice by opening a subsequent practice too close to that existing. If you're a marketer, you're able to understand how far is too far in support of driving new client acquisition to that hospital. So all of these insights together help different team members make more informed and more confident decisions as it relates to their day-to-day objectives in support of running a more successful organization. Now, again, I alluded to it a moment ago, but talent acquisition is a key struggle that we know every vet group across the country is challenged with. And please don't think that Scout can't be used as an effective tool in the recruitment conversations as well. Understanding where are the vet schools, where are the tech programs, and how can you make a personalized pitch to that doctor in order to convince him or her that by taking this opportunity, not only will they be successful in their practice, but they will live a more fulfilled balance between work and life by really tailoring the needs that they have as a consumer on top of the needs that you have as an operator. And so all of this are things that successful Buxton clients today are utilizing within this platform. Now, in addition to that, there's a whole host of information that's available within Scout. Unlimited reporting, GPS data, consumption data, supply data, competitor data, automatic updates, feeds coming from your PIM system into Buxton's universe, all contribute to what should be a daily use vehicle and tool for your organization. Now, one of the key things that's deployed within our Scout platform is that primary tool in the acceleration of growth and the reduction of risk. And that is utilization of a model. And so by deploying a model, whether it's custom built around your own performance, your own clients, your own hospitals, or utilizing Buxton's experience and ready to go models based on our decades in the industry, you're able to immediately understand, well, what are those key drivers that are going to influence the success or challenge of any given opportunity as you're considering what's on the table. And so walking through an example of a score sheet here based on Buxton's experience within the space, we can talk through a couple key points that every vet operator should be thinking about and should be measuring anytime they're evaluating an opportunity. First and foremost, do you have enough of the right types of households living in close proximity to that hospital? In Buxton speak, that's what we refer to as customer value decay. It is both quantitative, that is counts, and qualitative, quality, all at the same time rolled up together. Now, in addition to that, we understand that there's only so much market share to go around in any given opportunity. And so to account for that, we also look at not only do you have enough of the right kind of people living in close proximity, but how big are those slices of market share pie after we divide that by the other competitors who we know are practicing within that same geography. And so those together give us a very confident idea of just how much opportunity should be expected within any given trade area or piece of real estate. Now, adding to that, we also want to set hospitals up for long-term success. So key demographic traits like population growth, employment, and ultimately looking at vet spend as well. So simply, are people in this immediate area, in this case, we're looking at a 3-mile radial ring, are they spending more on vet services than other parts of the same market? Because when you can find that, you're setting yourself up for an easier road to success. Now, outside of those elements, which historically are very difficult to measure to the naked eye or just using Google Maps, we're also looking at what key elements will influence that performance from an area draw perspective. So we know the presence and count of grocery stores, of pet supply retailers, of general retail, and frankly, looking at negative co-tenants as well. And while they have no competitive impact on you, certain types of businesses, let's think check cashing, pawn shops, for example, that cause your best types of customer households to perhaps avoid certain areas on a higher frequency basis. We know all of those things contribute to success for your typical middle to upper income oriented general practice hospital. Now, speaking specifically to competition, we also do want to take a very close look at how many competitors are present within the trade area. In this case, we're using a 16-minute drive time trade area because the fact is your customers don't care how many miles it is between their house and their hospital. They care about how much time it's going to take them to get in and get on with that appointment and the rest of their day. And so for that reason, Buxton always considers or advises thinking about your trade areas in minutes rather than miles. And then finally, that bar chart that you see at the very bottom of this score sheet helps you to instantly understand the vibe and the feel of any given trade area by being able to interpret not just what are the demographics in the area, but what are the psychographics? How do people behave as consumers? How do they live their lives day to day? And understanding and being able to interpret the psychographic profile of any geography, whether you've been there before or not, helps you to instantly understand it and speak with authority in the event you're having a conversation with a broker, a landlord, or a doctor who's considering an affiliation with your practice. Now, while the score sheet itself sets up the strong foundation, it's a one-by-one tool, meaning you can evaluate one address at a time. Now, through Scout, you have unlimited reporting, but it's difficult to scale that in the long run. And so in order to accelerate growth, Buxton also looks through the process of identifying your white space or your potential across whatever your geography of interest happens to be. And so by taking that model and unleashing it across tens of thousands of known retail points or existing hospitals that would represent potential acquisition candidates, we're able to evaluate them using two different metrics. First, a score. So understanding, well, what's the opportunity in this scenario in the first place and why, based on variables like we just reviewed, as well as a spacing element. So avoiding that cannibalization that I mentioned earlier. Running a potential analysis helps to identify not only what your total runway should be, but also helps to prioritize resources, both time and budgets, by understanding which markets have the greatest opportunity first. And so if we start by understanding your total white space and then drilling down into a specific market, you're able to better allocate time and again, better accelerate the process of opening successful hospitals faster. Now, the screen that we've got pulled up now highlights several different factors to think through in any market level growth scenario. Again, as a quick point of orientation, imagine those little blue storefront icons that you see are your own existing GP hospitals within Dallas-Fort Worth. Think of the green trade areas, these drive time polygons that are on the map, as being the next best incremental growth opportunities to stand up successful GP hospitals. They are all spaced in a way that they can peacefully coexist with the other potential recommended GP hospitals, as well as those existing GPs that are already on the ground. Now, in a real world scenario, each one of those trade areas is anchored around a seed point that we've already evaluated. It also has a score, so you can, in force ranked order, prioritize which of these areas you budget for and develop first, knowing that's where you've got the greatest opportunity the soonest. Now, as we think about setting up a robust integrated delivery network or IDN, let's also think about these red trade areas that you see on the map. Imagine that these are specialty trade areas, and each one of these red trade areas that you see on the map should be thought of as having a viable specialty opportunity at the center of each one of those. Now, in some of these cases, you'll see there are opportunities for tuck-ins, like that existing hospital north of Fort Worth or out to the west in Weatherford, where you could expand on an existing GP, and if there's enough space, be able to also operate a strong specialty practice out of that facility. In other cases, you'll see there are very clear hub and spoke opportunities that present themselves by using both your existing GP network and those potential trade areas that are identified to all feed referrals into those specialty trade areas that have been identified as part of this analysis. And so by leveraging this information, again, you can better work with brokers, or you can better take those next steps to identify what affiliation opportunities exist. And so this view is now zooming in and taking a closer look at one particular trade area called out here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And again, there's a lot on the map, so allow me to break it down very quickly for you. Think of those green trade areas, again, as being identified strong de novo opportunities. Now, across the map, you'll see a whole bunch of these squares with letters on them. Each one of those squares represents an existing vet hospital that is up and operating today. Now, where this becomes really interesting from an acquisition or an affiliation perspective is The challenge that a lot of our clients run into is ownership. So you may call a practice and only to find out that they're already affiliated with someone else. Well, your team just wasted that time when they could be identifying and speaking with other more attractive candidates. And so in this view, we've gone through the exercise of identifying first all of the existing vet practices in a market. That's what's highlighted by those green squares with the white N indicated there on the icon. All of the other squares that you see, the B's and the C's and the P's, for example, are either branded or non-branded supported practices associated with some other organization. And so by overlaying all of this on the map together, you can quickly identify, even within a high value area, like these green drive time polygons that are showing, which of these practices should I call first, knowing that at least based on the information that's available, they aren't already affiliated with some other organization. So in this scenario in front of us, rather than wasting my time calling on the V or the C or the P icons that you see here, instead, I would be calling King Veterinary or North Midway or Benjamin Veterinary Medical, because based on the fact that they aren't overlaid with any of the 100+ named vet organizations of which Buxton is tracking today, I can be confident that I've got a better shot of engaging an independent hospital at this point, where I also know they're in the right area, they have tolerable competition, they've got favorable area draw, all of which will contribute to a better opportunity should that practice join your existing group. Now, there's one other layer in this map that we haven't talked about yet, and that's those little red dots that you see populating the map. Each one of those red dots represents a high value household that, based on what we know about how they live their lives, how they spend their money, is a great candidate for being a client of a GP practice. And so in this case, you'll see there are some hospitals that frankly don't have very many of the right types of folks living around them in close proximity. And there are others that are very squarely positioned in very dense concentrations of those best types of households. And so again, leveraging this information, you're able to operate with confidence, knowing that those households you reach out to are squarely positioned to be successful because of the convenience element that factors into every household's decision on where they take their furry family members for their care. And so by using this and painting that picture with a candidate, using this with a broker or with a landlord, and certainly from the marketing perspective, using this to help identify where should we be prioritizing our digital spend, or where should we be deploying postcards, letting everybody know that we're new to the neighborhood. All of this helps towards generating a stronger ROI and reducing risk associated with wasteful spend as each one of those team members operates on their day-to-day basis. Now, wrapping up, just a couple other things that are very worth mentioning in terms of what our successful clients are utilizing today. Mobolytics is certainly worth a mention. And this is Buxton's foray into movement data. So Buxton spends millions of dollars a year acquiring and maintaining over 600 unique data sets. And several of those data sets include pings from smartphones. And so by leveraging our Mobolytics platform, our clients are able to go in and geofence a retail property or an existing vet hospital to answer key questions like, where are these visitors? Where are these customers coming from? Where else do they go? Where do they work? Who are they demographically? And who are they psychographically? And knowing all of these things helps to increase confidence in knowing that the group that, or the hospital that you're speaking with, aligns really well with who you've already been successful with, thanks to the consumer insights you're able to generate as part of your Buxton engagement. So using this to strike better deals, impress candidates, impress a potential affiliation, all of this helps to get deals done faster. And that's a big part of what Buxton is here to empower our clients to do on a daily basis. Lastly, one of the things that I'll also call out very quickly before we open the floor up to any questions is the utilization of a brand new Buxton solution that we're calling IQ. It stands for Intelligent Query. And as clients are all growing more sophisticated and having bigger and bigger needs from a data and reporting perspective, IQ is just one solution within the Buxton platform that empowers our clients to do wide-scale, complex filtered reports in seconds or minutes, depending on the type of query you're running. So being able to take, let's say, your entire affiliation pipeline or your entire network today and instantly create certain drive times or mileage rings around them, and then understand, well, within those geographies, how many of my hospitals have X thousands of households with kids making over $100,000 with sufficient vet spend identified in those zip codes, for example. All of this is a way that you can quickly leverage information to, at scale, whether it's dozens, hundreds, or thousands of data points to evaluate. It helps you reach your conclusions and your answers faster so that you can make informed decisions and move on to the next step as soon as possible. And so really appreciate everyone's time today. Again, as a quick recap, Buxton, as we continue to grow, we're always looking to add additional data sets. We're always looking to expand on our understanding at a household level of where are the consumers, are they good for your business, and how can we leverage this in a way that leads to faster, more informed decision making. And finally, just a little bit about Buxton before we wrap it up. We're going on 28 years of operation now. We're over 160 team members strong of motivated problem solvers. We serve a wide array of clients across a very diverse base of industries. And again, we are on the cutting edge in terms of our maintenance and our aggregation of a wide variety of data sets that together help us to accomplish those key objectives that we talked about previously of reduction of risk and acceleration of growth. And so with that, I can't thank everybody enough for taking the time this afternoon to talk through this, and we'll open it up to any questions that the team has at the moment. All right. One question that did come across very quickly is, does Buxton have insight into vet schools to help inform and drive recruitment? And the answer is absolutely yes. That is one of the data sets that we've got loaded up. And again, it's a great use case for IQ, being able to instantly go in and understand, well, how far are is the nearest or 3 nearest vet programs to each one of my hospitals, so that I can more efficiently allocate my recruitment resources to go out and make sure that we're presenting a compelling case to those graduates as they're entering the workforce. And so it's an excellent way to make sure that, again, you're being as responsible and efficient with your time as you operate on a day-to-day basis. And it's all something that lives within the Buxton platform and is being utilized by a lot of our most successful clients on a daily basis. And so great question, and very much appreciate you asking. It looks like that's it for now. So again, Brooks, I'll hand it back over, but I want to thank everybody so much for taking the time once again.
Yes, thanks everyone. Just want a quick reminder that we're going to chop this up and send it out to everyone as a video who registered and attended. And additionally, if you have any more questions, please go to the website, contact Peter, and get a demo booked. Thanks everyone very much.
All right. Thanks everybody. Bye.